After 60 years. I saw her cry as she slid down the slope of the red rock. Her Indian blood did not save her from falling. If I hadn't been thousands of kilometers away, I would have helped her dress up her bruised side. I have her thoughts despite this distance. So much pain, so much helplessness and weakness. He doesn't listen to me to stay home. He walks in the mountains. There is no way for old people. They're already so stubborn. Does he know I have other women? Probably yes, despite the distance. Does he know that only she matters? Yeah, she's too old to cheat. Where was the last 60 years? Jarimeni iarenumuyu. I heard her thoughts in my head. Damn. Beloved old Indian sent me a text message to my brain. I could not contain my wild joy. How is that? For that distance? Thousands of kilometers? It's not in her language. But it works. I was laughing out loud like a moron, and the stewardess approached me professionally concerned about my strange behavior. From the plane I saw the sunrise and the moon was going to sleep. I jumped out on the tarmac, fresh and well rested. I took a deep breath and walked lightly to the open door of the terminal. Behind the railing, I saw her and Mitch holding her arm. Marija shrunk even more and skinny, as if she was already 90 years old. Miko was supporting her to keep her relatively straight. I squeezed it and took her in my arms. She hung around my neck and hugged me tight. Marija, I repeated again. It's really you. Yes, dear hombre. Yes. Yes. We went home. Miko said goodbye to us at the entrance. He announced that he would come tomorrow. I wanted to be alone with her. My journey to Europe was dragging on and she waited overnight for my return. Finally her old eyes see me with their Indian gaze, and her nostrils greedily absorb my scent. Different and alien, filtered by the hotel air and dry plains. The dampness of European forests and cities. Krakowska sausage and sour rye soup. Her face glowed with happiness. You are finally here, hombre. Finally at home. Only 2 tears appeared on her proud Indian face. I already knew everything. She loved me no matter what my destiny was and what would be and what was. This old woman was all love for me, and I only saw it today. After 60 years. Idiotic. Why does it work like that? She went to the other room and was gone for a while. Hombre, she called me. Come here. I walked over to her. She was on her knees by the open drawer, which she did not have the strength to pull completely out of the dry wardrobe. Look here. She said solemnly. The drawer in silk handkerchiefs was full of curled stones. It's the last one. She said, taking one of them out and handing it to me. I couldn't tell what the feeling that made me suddenly flee this room filled my heart with. I ran around the house in different directions until I finally calmed down my heartbeat and returned to her. I didn't read these thoughts from her at all. I was surprised, which I could not explain to myself. After all, it has been a long time since we were between. I should have known what she went for. And what's in the drawer? How's that? I knelt down in front of her and she handed me the stone. I unwrapped my handkerchief and picked up the stone in my hand. It fit. Why are you doing that? I asked a question that I really didn't know the answer to. She took the stone from my hands and shut it into a drawer. My mind was blank. I didn't like it at all. Marija, what's going on? I don't know, hombre. My mind is blank, said the frightened, shrunken old woman. She hugged me tightly. I covered the gray braids tightly tied with colored wool with a scarf and carried it all unshrunken under the blanket. Marija looked at me and said softly. Don't ask, because I've been with you all 60 years, hombre. Only you haven't changed, and I haven't changed. She rose to me. Someday you will understand. We have all the stones. I can be calm. She was trembling all over her body. Hombre, I love you, my husband. She smiled weakly and friendly. Her eyes were full of happiness. She held the blanket under her chin and clenched, slender hands. It's good that you are with me. In the white sheets, her small, shrunken, dark-skinned figure of the old woman stood out in contrast to the whole room. She looked at me with Indian beautiful eyes. The room was swarming with succubi, who were pouring in from all sides and completely besieging the bed. It starts in chapter TS016. Tuta www.kubi.pl